What makes a small event look big is the look of the poster. Tunji again from Ceasar Graphix. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to create this abstract looking event poster. Now this is specially designed for those of you that want to design a good looking event poster but don't have enough resources to make that happen. I'm going to be teaching you how to make your subject have a vector look using the Photoshop oil paint filter. We're going to be making the project look interesting with the use of the Photoshop gradient map. I'm going to be teaching you how I use type to make my project look interesting. So if you need the exercise file for this tutorial, simply make use of the link in the description section of this video. Also, I have the names of the font I use to achieve this project in the description section. So sit back, relax, and keep watching. Okay, so let's create a new document. So I'm going to call this Afro. All right, so my width is going to be 800. Height is going to be 800. Resolution is going to be 100. All right, I'm not printing this, so the 100 resolution is fine. So I'm going to make my color mode be on RGB. I'll leave every other settings the way they are, and I'm going to select the create button. So then the first thing I'm going to do is to drag my already cropped image here like so. So in the exercise file, you are not going to see the image cropped, so I would advise to crop the image before using it. Okay, so I'm going to make this big like so. Okay, so I'm going to hit the enter key, right click on the layer and rasterize the layer. All right, then I'll go to image adjustments and I'm going to select shadows and highlights here. I'll leave the setting the way they are and I'm going to select the OK button. So the idea of using the shadow and highlight filter is to boost the brightness on the face of my subject here. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to right click again and convert this to a smart object, and I'll go to filter, stylize, and select oil paint filter here. Stylization is 4.8, cleanliness is 1.4, scale is 0.1, Bristol is 10.0, and make sure that lighting is unchecked. All right, so I'm going to select the OK button, go to filter again. I'll select blur and hit the surface blur option here. So the whole idea of using the surface blur is to smooth the face of our subject. All right, so I'll make my radius 26, threshold is going to be 3, and I'm going to select the OK button. And the next thing I'm going to do now is to go to filter again and select filter gallery. So under the poster edges, edge thickness is 6, edge intensity is 0, and posterization is 6. And I'm going to select the OK button. Filter again, go to sharpen, and I'm going to select the unsharp mask option here. All right, so if I zoom out now, you see we have the details on the face of our subject more stronger. So I'm going to make this, my amount is 351, radius is 1.9, and Bristol threshold is going to be on 0. I'm going to make a copy of my oil paint filter by holding down Alt and drag and place this above the unsharp mask filter. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close this and hit Ctrl G to put that in a group. All right, so I'll call this art. Okay, I'll right click, convert this to a smart object, add hue saturation. All right, and I'm going to click on this icon to say I only want this to affect my art layer, and then I'm going to add levels. All right, I'll do the same thing by clicking on the clip icon. And the last thing I'm going to add next, make sure you have your art layer selected before adding this last part, which is posterize filter. All right, so what I'm going to do now is to go to the hue saturation and I'm going to move this down like so, and under the posterization I'll make sure that my levels is set to 4. Under my levels filter, I'm going to tweak this like so. shift select the layers and right click and say convert to a smart object. I'm going to add a gradient map adjustment, and I'm going to click on the clip icon because I only want this to affect the art layer. And what I'm going to do now is to click on the gradient editor and double click here to change the color of my color picker here. All right, so I'm going to paste the color code that I have here inside my color picker. So I'm going to double click here to activate another color wheel. I'll copy and paste this in like so, and this should be the location of this should be on 37. Another color slider, paste this, paste it, hit the OK button. Location is going to be 77. All right, and my last color here, which is going to serve as the highlight, is going to be this. So I'm going to select the OK button. You know what? I'm going to move this back a bit, like so. All right. For this, I'll do the same thing. Okay. Better still, let's just move this here. So, all right. Then I'm going to select the OK button, and then we have this. Put the layers again in a group, and this time I'm going to right click on the layer, say convert to smart objects, and I'll go to filter, stylize, and add the oil paint filter to the layer. Now you see how smooth the outline of our subject is. Stylization is going to be 2.4, clearness is going to be 1.4, scale is going to be 1.0, then Bristol detail is going to be 10.0. Now don't forget to uncheck your lighting, okay? So I'm going to select the OK button, and I'll right click on the layer, and I'm going to rasterize the layer. Select the art layer, go to select, and I'll select color range, and click this color here, which is the navy blue color, and I'm going to select the OK button now, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm on the marquee tool here. Right click and say make work parts. Make sure tolerance set to 2.0, and I'm gonna select the OK button. Now this is now like a vector object. You can change the position of the points to your desired position. All right, so then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the adjustment button here and select solid color, and I'm going to pick this color here. All right, and select the OK button. So what Photoshop will do for me is to create a layer for the adjustment layer with the part on the subject. All right, so now if I hide this, you see we only have this. Okay, so the reason why I've decided to do this is because I want to apply color to the glasses and the wristwatch of my subject. All right, so I'm going to create a new layer. All right, and call this color. Select the pen tool, and I'm just going to click here, click here. Now make sure that your option here is on shape. All right, make sure you're not on part, because if you're on part, you won't be able to change the color of your drawing. All right, so I'm going to just click here, click here, 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 and close it like so. All right, so I'm going to come here, pick blue from here. Let's just use another shade of blue. Okay button. Okay, so I'm going to do the same move here again. Here, 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 then here. So then for the watch, I'm gonna click here, 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 here. But for this, I'm gonna use red. To hold down Control and click on the thumbnail of my subject here, and I'm gonna create a new layer below it and call this outline. Okay, so we're trying to create our background now. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to select, modify, and I'll select expand. All right, so under my expand option here, I'm going to use 5. All right, and I'm going to select the OK button, and I'm going to go to select again. I'll go to modify and select smooth because the edges of my subject here, most especially the hair part, is not looking the way I want it. So I can use something around 80 and select the OK button. Now you see we have smooth edges, but I prefer to still add more smooth to it. So I'll go again and select smooth, and this time I'll select it again. So meaning 8 plus 8 is equal to 16. So instead of you going back and forth, you can always just select 16 and you're going to achieve the same move. So I'm going to select the OK button. All right. So what I'm going to do now is to select the marquee to here, right click and say make work part. And I'm going to select the OK button on 2.0. And then I'm going to go to the adjustment button here and select solid color. And we have this like so. And I'm going to select, now this is the same color from here. All right. So I'm going to select the OK button. I'm going to double click on the layer to activate the layer style. And I'll go straight on the stroke here. All right, then I'll go to my stroke option here and change this to solid. All right, and I'll go to the color picker here and just pick the same color again, and then you see we have this. All right, so we can as well increase the stroke to our preferred size. So still under the stroke here, I'm going to click on the plus sign to add another stroke. Make sure you're on this stroke here, and I'm going to select the color picker and pick this color over here, and I'm going to select the OK button, and I'll increase the size like so. I'm going to click on the plus sign and click on this and go here, and I'm going to pick this color from here like so, and select the OK buttons to 124. So I'll flip 1, 2, and 4, and then we see we have this. So but for me, I think it's too much, so I'm going to reduce this a bit like so. Okay, and I'm going to create a new stroke again and click on this and pick this color like so, and this time I'm going to pick this shade of color, but I'm going to use the lighter let's use this to be. So I'll pick this and just go a bit brighter like so, and I select the OK button. This time I'm just gonna make this go out like so. All right, yeah, this is good. So I'll make a new stroke again. Then come here and use red. Let's put this right here. Let's put this like so. Okay, then I'll make this bigger like so. Okay, this should be bigger like so. And I'm going to select the OK button. So what I'm going to do is I'll make a new layer. I'll call this red because I actually want that red to fill the background. So I'm going to click on the color picker here and pick this color and select the OK button and hold on out and apply red to my background. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is to put everything here in a group. So I'll hit Ctrl G, drag and drop my wet paper from the XSS file, and I'm going to make this bigger like so. All right, then I'm going to hit the enter key. Then I'll change my blend mode to the multiply, and I'm going to reduce the opacity of the paper layer like so. All right, now you see we have that wet paper effect on our project. All right, and so what I'm going to do now is to stamp visible of the layers by holding on Ctrl Shift Alt and E, because I don't want to have this too much red here. So I'm going to activate the free transform on the layer, and I'm going to make this bigger like so. All right, and this should go down here a bit like so, and yeah, this is good. So I'm going to hit the enter key. So what I'm going to do now is to add my text. So I'm going to change this to Bebas. Should be on Bebas. Then I'll activate the free transform on it and make this bigger. Then I'll take away the leading like so, and this should be smaller. Okay, And for this, I'll use Slackey. Okay. All right. So 100 minus 100 is fine. And I'm going to make a copy of this, right? So I always like to have my copy layer behind the original layer. So I'm going to turn this here and I'll activate the color picker and click like so. And make a copy again. Should be behind this. Then come here and change the color to this. All right. And move this out a bit. Up in the color of this the white. Create the free transform and make this bigger like so. And this should be here. Hit the enter key. And this should be on 0. So yeah. So this should be above this. Right? So I'm gonna position this here and make it bigger. Right? And I'll make a copy of this. Okay, and this should be here. And I'll do the same move again by picking this color, zoom in, right? And make a copy of this again, and this should be behind this. And then it's here, here, like so. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything here in a group. So I hit Control G, and I'll call this team, right? And I'll activate the free transform, right click, and skew this. Gonna move this up here like so. This should be here. And this should go this way. All right. Then I'm going to make this a bit bigger. But for the venue, I'm gonna put that under the dates and time. Okay. And I'll make that bigger like so. Position this here and add space. Okay. Then select this and use regular for this. Right. Okay. Then I'll shift select the two layers and just move this here because this is close to the edge of my frame. All right. So for the reservation, so what I'm going to do is to draw a rectangle shape. Yeah, I'm going to draw a rectangle shape here, but make sure this is aligned with the dates and the address. All right. So I'm going to change this to white, and I'm going to make this no color. Then I'll go straight here under the alignment. I'll choose align outside, and I'm going to increase the stroke to, let's say, 3. Let's make it 3. All right, then I'll copy the reservation text. Should be Bebas bold, and I'll add space between the letters. And I'll make this bigger, like so. This should be here, just like so. All right, then I'll select the pen tool here, and I'm just gonna draw a rule here, and I'll change this to no color and make this white here and make this 3. All right, so this is good. So I'll activate the free transform on this because I'm sure by the time I put my text here, the space there is going to be too close for it. So I'm going to type, I'm going to paste my the phone number here. All right, and this time I'll use regular. Right, and I'll activate the free transform on this and just make this bigger, and this should go up a bit like so. Okay, so I'm going to put all of this again in a group. All right, so I shift selected the layers before hitting the shortcut, which is Ctrl G. Then I'm going to move this out here like so. I'm going to activate the free transform on the group layer and right click and say skew again, and this should go this way first, and it should go up here like so. All right, and Activate the free transform and just push this down, and this should be somewhere here. So for my stroke here, I think that 3 is too much. So I'm going to change this back to, let's say, 2, right? And then, yeah, this is beautiful. All right, so I'm going to move this here. So if the color on the project is looking dull to you, you can as well apply hue saturation adjustment to it and just increase the saturation. Now watch this. Now you see how beautiful the colors are. So if you are not satisfied with the color on the project and you feel you still want to boost it, then you can now use the hue saturation to do that, and your project will look beautiful and nice to the eye. Right? So I'm going to stop here. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button and remember to click the post notification bell so you get notified when I post my tutorials. Share, like, and comment on this video, and if you are able to achieve any project with the help of this tutorial, simply post it on your Instagram page and remember to tag me. My Instagram handle is @Ceasar Graphix. I'll see you again in the next one. Peace.